Hi guys, this is Stephanie and this is Hazel Lucia Tarot. So this is a special Halloween reading for my subscribers. Though I think everyone can see it. I think it all depends on the algorithm. I just know my subscribers will probably see it first. I originally wanted to do a live reading, but for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't let me do live readings just yet or as of now. So hopefully that changes. Hopefully I get that resolved. Anyone who knows anyone that works for YouTube, let me know how I can resolve that issue because I can't go live from my phone or my laptop. So, but I did want to do a special reading and I'm going to do 3 piles here. I originally wanted this live to have it be more interactive, but I still want to do something here for you guys. So the piles we're going to choose, I'm going to give you 3 options. Option 1, we have this beautiful red jasper heart. Oh, I love this. It kind of matches my little flower crown. Pile 2, we have this, I can't remember if it's laser quartz or Lemurian quartz, but regardless, it's beautiful quartz point. I mean, look at that record keeper. Look at that. Oh, I love this one. It feels powerful. Somebody looked at this and you activated something within it. So, and then the last one is going to be my beautiful lepidolite palm stone. For those of you who suffer from like anxiousness, anxiety, or you have a hard time calming down, lepidolite is it. Like I give this to anyone who's anxious and or has a hard time just grounding, calming down. It's very beautiful, gentle energy. So the piles again. Pile 1, we have red jasper heart. Pile 2, we have quartz point. And pile 3, we have the lepidolite palm stone. I will have the options down in the description so you can click pile 1, 2, or 3, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the red jasper heart, then we have a reading here for you for the special little Halloween short random reading. I didn't really pick a theme other than it was going to be Halloween, and I wanted this to be live, but I can't do live, so this is just how it's going to be. And I wanted to do something different where I show my face just to see, how it is. I know my facial expressions can be all over the place, so, and sometimes when I talk, like, I don't know why my voice does this. I guess because I'm trying to channel messages, but like my ego is getting in the way of trying to say something perfectly or in a different way. And sometimes, just sometimes, I'll channel like certain accents or certain languages that I don't speak. I speak 3-ish, 4-ish. But red jasper pile. I opened it up. Theme is love and 5 of swords, something that you've had to move on from, something that you've had to let go, whether it was out of your own choosing or maybe out of your hands. But this is something that you've had to let go of. I guess the main theme I'm going for here is fears, like your fears now that we are in Halloween season, because to me that's what it's about. Scorpio season, we're getting into like the nitty gritty of things here. We're tapping into some deep energy. So let's get some cards. I have the Audacity, the Maven Oracle, and the Disney villains. I'm not big on Halloween, believe it or not. More Day of the Dead, for sure. Just because it's more spiritual, and Halloween, it's a little self-indulgent. We have the 9 of Cups reversed. So this is about a situation where you thought you had it all and then you didn't. Or you thought something would be great and then it wasn't. This is about dreams that almost came true, or maybe you did have your dream and then you lost it. I feel like whatever this connection was, whatever the situation was, if it's not romantic, it could have been like a dream job or a dream situation. Like maybe you lived in the town you've always wanted to live in, or city, town, wherever, and then you lost it somehow. So it's up to you. Regardless, there is a sense of having to have let go of something, but it's not completely lost, because I do sense some hope here. So we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I see you like still reversed. It's like you still have the seeds there, like you still have some sort of attachment, or so you still have some sort of future with this, because Pentacles is long-term energy. But reversed, it's like you're wondering if it's even worth still putting your effort into this, or still holding on to this dream, because we have the 4 of Cups here reversed as well. Because 4 of Cups upright, emotional attachment. Reversed, it's like you understand that you have to emotionally detach from the situation. And I was talking about this in something earlier. Sometimes the messages repeat themselves, and if you keep hearing the same message from me, I feel like that's just, an insistent message that Spirit is trying to get across, where you just need to let go of the outcome. Like, don't let go of that dream, but let go of whether it happens or not. You have to be okay about whether you have it or not. That's the thing. Because to keep pouring energy into something that may or may not be a thing. Well, that's just going to ruin it. We have the Fool. Yeah, to pursue new things, to move on with life, move on to something better. Not well, and if not better, just to something different. For a lot of you, you need a pivot. You need to place that energy elsewhere. You need to find something else to absorb your attention, your focus. We have the Seven of Swords, because I feel like not everything about this particular situation was coming to the light. There could have been some secrets there. There could have been something that you weren't seeing. Because I'm kind of seeing self-deception here, especially next to the Fool. If it wasn't somebody deceiving you, you could have been deceiving yourself. And that might be a little bit of harsh truth, but that's what I'm hearing and sensing. We also have the Five of Swords. Like I said, this is something that you really had no control over. It's kind of you could see it as a win some, lose some situation, or a no-win situation. I personally always see it as win some, lose some. So you lose something, but you gain whatever that thing was preventing you from having. So whether that was more time, more money, more freedom to be yourself, you gained something back in letting this go, whether you realize that or not. And there could be an emphasis here to focus on the positive. Yeah, the Magician, because you have a lot more control over this than you realize. And oh, I forget this man's name, but I love him because he's the tarot reader in The Princess and the Frog, the Frog and the Princess, the Princess and the Frog, the Frog and the Princess. But there's something here about you having control over your destiny, you being more than capable of doing whatever it is that you want, with or without this particular situation or thing that you let go. If it's a relationship, you can do whatever it is that you want with or without this person. If it was a place you were living in, again, you can still achieve your dreams, even if you're not there. For some of you, you might be able to achieve your dreams even more so not being in this place, because I'm seeing certain restrictions in this area that maybe you weren't aware of. So if you had wanted to start, for example, your own business there, it would have ended up costing you more, or it would have been a lot more difficult to maintain that. Because for some of you, it's a place that you used to live in that you want to go back to. So take that as it resonates. Let's get another card and then we'll do the oracles to close out on this super short, sweet Halloween reading. Your fears. We have the Two of Coins. You're setting yourself balanced. Maybe more so with finances. For a lot of you, you're definitely focusing on your finances. For some of you, it could be your health. You're getting your health back in order. Whether it's physical or mental, you are getting a sense of balance here, which is great. I feel like this is... whatever this is, it was taken away from you so you could focus back on yourself, because it was taking way too much time, energy, or something away from you that was keeping you from being your truest version of yourself. We also have we have the Seven of Wands. And I'm not sure if I'm meant to take this reversed or not, but regardless, there's something to be said here for accountability, which goes perfectly with the Magician here. You are more than capable of doing whatever it is that you want. And if you're allowing the loss of this thing to keep you from doing it, then this thing wasn't really meant for you. You know, for a lot of you, this particular thing could have been distracting you from your life goal, or it could have been distracting you from something that you've always wanted to achieve. And maybe being out of this, you're now realizing it's like, you know what, I really gave up on that hobby that I liked while I was with this person, or I couldn't really do the things that I wanted to do within this place, or that job was keeping me from, you know, leading a healthy lifestyle. So for a lot of you, remember, this thing that you lost wasn't a complete loss, because you gained something back of yourself. Even if it's just control over your own thoughts or control over your own self, even if it's just peace of mind. So let's get your closing oracles from the Audacity deck. My red jasper pile 1. We have the Tower. Yeah, for a lot of you, this could have felt like a tower moment. And for some of you, I like this picture in general because I'm not sure if you can see, she's like taking a selfie while she's falling down that tower, and so is he. Yeah, they're both. It's like the revolution will be televised. People will be acknowledging that you are going through this. Maybe it was something public that you couldn't really hide. For example, if you move somewhere and people realizing that you're suddenly hanging out in certain places, that's going to be hard to ignore. Or if you're on social media, or this particular thing has to do with social media, like it was something that you couldn't really hide. So it was a tower moment. I feel like for some of you, this could have been a little bit embarrassing, maybe humiliating, but this was something that was necessary. That was also part of your growth, believe it or not. 35 could be important as well for those of you who are, or sorry, 36. 35 into 36, maybe that's important for some of you. Let's get another card from this deck. The Cold Shoulder. And this is number 15, which in, also they're wearing a flower crown like me, which in the Rider-Waite and the regular tarot, this would be the devil card. Like I said, for a lot of you, this was actually bringing up some sort of bad habit, or it would have led you to a bad habit, or it was developing, and again, you weren't realizing until you were out of the situation. The cold shoulder, if something rejected you, it's divine protection. Rejection is divine protection. You may not want to hear that, but it's true. Be grateful that something here left you. If something gave you the cold shoulder, it wasn't meant for you anyway. This would be like, in high school, or in school, at any point in school, when people want to be part of the cool kids because they want to be accepted or something like that. I'm not saying everyone has that mentality, or even that I understand it. It's more like you want to be accepted somehow by your peers. But then you realize that these people or group of people are actually not that great at all. Yeah, think Mean Girls. Think of the Mean Girls movie. That's what this is. Like, did you really want to be a part of that? Did you really want to be like them? I don't think so. In the long run, I don't think so. And then, for some of you, this could literally be something to do with like a friend group, because we have the fair weather friend. Also, people who truly care about you and truly like wish you well, they're going to start showing up. Like, you're going to see like who is actually meant for you and who isn't. You're going to see who was a true friend and who wasn't. Like, their true nature finally shows, is what I'm seeing. This would explain the Seven of Swords here, because this is secrets coming to the light. You're going to see the true nature of certain people, because I feel like not everybody who was around you actually cared, or maybe they pretended to care because of something that you did. Their true nature is going to reveal itself. If it was somebody you were with, unfortunately, you may realize they were only with you for certain reasons. And once those reasons were met, it's like they had no use of you, which is unfortunate. But people are people, I guess. Let's go ahead and get your Seasons of the Witch cards. I have the Maven, but not the Samhain. Like I said, I'm not a Halloween girly. I'm actually not. You would think, being into tarot and stuff, I don't do spooky. I do like death things, like, and afterlife things, but I don't do spooky. But I think that's just my culture. Like, you understand that death isn't scary. So let's get some cards for my pile 1. We have Shapeshifting, 35. Yeah, 35 is coming out here twice, because this was 35 as well. I forgot to mention this number. So 35, 36. I feel like for some of you who are in these ages, this could be important. But shapeshifting, transformation is not the loss of what once was. It is the evolution of a more powerful self. Yeah, for some of you, you're changing. You're changing in how you look and how you act, how you feel, how you move. And for some of you, again, you're going to see those fair weather friends come through. It's like when they saw you at your worst, they didn't care, but suddenly you're doing better and now they care. People's true natures are going to come through here, because you're shapeshifting for survival, but these people shapeshift because they need to get something out of you. Very interesting. Should also be noted, I got a mosquito bite yesterday for the first time in forever. I typically don't get mosquito bites, so be careful for this. Watch out for those energy vampires. We have Strabale, 37. It's time you step out of your comfort zone, take up space, and reach new heights. So for a lot of you, you're just developing, you're changing, you're going on to better things. You're going on to better things. And when people start seeing you do better and they want to come back around when they weren't there for you, when you needed them the most, I think that's going to be the biggest hard-hitting realization, because I see that for everyone, regardless of what the situation was, whether it was in a former partner, a former neighborhood, a former group of people that rejected you, and suddenly they want everything to do with you. Why is that? We also have Scarecrow, 34. Okay, so clearly the 30s must be important here. Maybe for some of you this took place during your 30s, or you could currently be in your 30s, like myself. Remember that you are not alone. Move with confidence as you are guided. Yeah. For a lot of you, this is finding a sense of self-purpose, of being very secure in your own energy, knowing that you don't need anybody supporting you in order to get what you want. Not saying that you won't acknowledge people who do help you on your path, but this is you being so secure within yourself that you don't need the approval of anybody to move forward. And I feel like some of these people who are coming back around, they kind of wish they could do that, because they don't know how to live without external validation, but you do. You do, pile 1. But beautiful reading. I think your fear is that people were dishonest with you, but the truth is, thank goodness they were, because now you see who was actually on your side and who isn't. But this is where I leave it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, subscribe, or reach out to me for a personal reading, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose the laser or Lemurian, the crystal quartz point, I think this is my favorite because there's something energizing about this energy coming through. Then we have a reading here for you, my special little short, quick reading for Halloween. I originally wanted to do this live, but I can't, so here I am. And I'm low-key doing my costume. I'm just going to be death, you know, la muerte, essentially. But I didn't want to do the full makeup and everything just because I don't know, I want to be a little bit more down to earth on this particular reading. I wanted to do this while I was like handing out candy for trick-or-treaters, but you know, sometimes I like to read into the symbology of things. So if I see certain kids dress up a certain way, then I'm like, I take that as a sign of something. Well, let's see what the nature of this particular reading is. We are kind of dealing with fears. I didn't really choose this particular theme until I started doing the first pile, but we have 3 of Wands and 4 of Wands. Some of you believing that the thing that you want you will not be able to achieve, or even if you do get it, that you will not be happy with it. Okay, that's a bit much, because we're dealing with, like, once you have something, will you be happy with it? Or some of you are wondering, like, if you manifest something, are you even going to want it after you have it? Maybe you've done this before. Maybe you've manifested something and you realized after some time, it's like, wow, I actually don't want this. Because I know I've done that. Like, I'll manifest, for example, clothing, expensive clothing. And then once I get those clothing, I'm like, you know what, this outfit isn't anywhere, it's no different than the one that cost like $100 less, you know? That's what I'm getting. Like, maybe some of you are afraid that if you manifest anything bigger than that, like, for example, a home or living elsewhere or a partner, that once you have that thing, you won't want it, or that it's like you don't trust yourself with what you want, if that makes any sense. Because that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm feeling for some of you. Especially for those of you who, like I said, you've already manifested things. Because I've seen people who are excellent manifestors, and I mean excellent manifestors, let that ish go. Like, all the amazing things they've manifested, to them it doesn't bother them. But I think there's something to be said about not growing attached to anything here, though. Let's go ahead and get your cards. So yeah, we have the Devil reverse. Some of you may have even manifested something that you know wasn't great for you, or something that you didn't realize would end up being bad for you. Let's say you manifested a relationship, and within this relationship, you realize that, well, one, it wasn't healthy. To maybe this person ended up being everything you wanted, but because they were that very thing, they also kind of did things that you didn't like. Like, does this make sense? You manifested somebody. Maybe you even manifested a specific person, but they were not a great person to you. We have the World reversed. Yeah, it's kind of like, whatever this was, you feel that you manifested something you weren't meant to have. And, oh gosh, pile 2, my heart goes out to you. I understand the feeling. Maybe you manifested the house you've always wanted, but then you realize that it's like, rent was expensive, the bills were much, it was a lot to take care of, so you were like, well, screw this, I guess I'll go back to renting. I said the mortgage was too much. Like, maybe you manifested living in the city you've always wanted, but then you go to that city and you realize it's not a fit for you. Like, you realize that, you know, you've always wanted to live in New York City, and then it's noisy and smelly and the people are different, and, you know, everything is expensive. That's what I'm getting for some of you, the Ace of Swords. And it makes you afraid, reversed. This makes you afraid of even going for the things you want. This makes you afraid of going for that which, it's like you're even afraid of having those thoughts. It's like, well, what if I get this, why am I hearing this specifically? What if I get this baddie, then I fumble him or her, you know? I've seen that. Okay, I've seen my friends, especially my guy friends, for some reason, like, they'll get with their dream girl, they'll get with like the most beautiful girl, and even I'm like, yeah, she's actually a little bit out of your league. I won't say that to their face, but I'll think, like, how did they land? And then they fumble her, and I'm like, what is this? What this is a lack of feeling worthy of it, because this is the 8 of Coins reversed. This is everything you worked hard for, and then not valuing it, or understanding that it goes deeper than some more superficial aspect of this. Because what you forget to take into account is how something makes you feel. Like, yes, you want to manifest, you know, a relationship, but how do you want to feel within that relationship? How do you want that relationship to work out? How do you want it to play out? Yeah, 4 of Swords. You have to really think on this. This is rest. This is meditation. For a lot of you, when you're manifesting certain things, you are not in your, how do I say this? You are not in your most authentic self. You have to be very honest with yourself about what it is that you want. So, and there's a bit of superficiality to some of you as well. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with wanting nice things at all. But if you're coming to that with the hint that like it's going to better your life or that you're going to be happy once you have that, you know, expensive thing or that hard to obtain thing, you have to look within yourself and ask yourself, how do you want that thing to make you feel? What feeling are you going for? And for some of you, you could have underlying insecurities that you're not aware of. Look how the light got really dark when I said that. This is why I like doing things when I'm seeing myself on camera recently, because I'm using natural lighting. This is like, I literally just have the windows open, and sometimes there'll be like a dark shadow pass by, and that's how you know that there's like an energy there that you have to work with. We have the sun reversed. Yeah, lack of confidence. Some of you could actually come off as very confident. I see this the most with people who come off the most confident. I tap into their energy and they're the most insecure people I know. And it breaks my heart because I love some of these people, you know, I adore some of them. Some of these are my friends. But like, I could tell them everything in the world and they will never believe it for themselves. The things that I tell them, like, oh, you're a great person, you're really attractive, anyone would be happy to have you. You know, that I could tell them that all day, but until they believe it themselves, they will never believe it. And I feel like this is the same thing for you, my pile too. And the fact that every time I touch this, it's just so full of energy. You are a master manifester. You can manifest anything you want. It's just that you're afraid of your own manifestations. And maybe even you're afraid of dealing with the consequences of the things that you manifest yourself. Because, yeah, like I said, some of you have manifested people in the past, like ideal partners, and then that partner ended up rejecting you, or they ended up being not the partner you thought, or they ended up, you know, because there is a sense of like a romantic thing here. And for some of you, like I said, it could be a home. For some of you, it could be a car, and then you forget that, you know, you get that nice fancy sports car, but in the US at least, insurance for that car is not very affordable. We have the 8 of Wands. So I feel like another way to get over this is to just move on to the next thing. It's like, okay, this didn't work out, let me put a quick end to it and move on to the next thing, which could be both good and bad depending on how you see this. Because if you don't take the time to fully process this, like, yes, get rid of it right away if you know it's not for you, but are you processing what that particular situation put you through or what that brought out in you? Because it's like, on one hand, you could get rid of it really fast and it's like, okay, that's not for me, let's move on. Are you processing that though before you move on to the next thing? Are you really getting over that breakup or that situation before you get into another relationship? And then finding out you do the same thing with that person, or there's a similar situation with that person. Because I see that. I see people who hop from person to person. No judgment here. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the physical act of that. What is wrong is that somebody here doesn't take the time to wonder why things didn't work out with the last one, or to get to know themselves, to see what it is that they truly want. That's where the problem lies. It's not, you know, dating around. That's all fun. It's not knowing yourself. It's not realizing what it is that you truly expect from somebody, and whether, one, if it's something on your part that you might have to, you know, reconsider, or if it's something on their part, maybe you're just attracted to something that isn't good, but you're so used to it that you don't know how to let it go. So there is something here about, ask yourself how you want this to make you feel. Let's get another one. You have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. There are things that are meant to be fated in your life for sure, but it's up to you how you handle them. It's up to you how this is going to play out. Because we have a lot more free will in our life than we realize. And I get that some people understand this, but me being such a spiritual person, I like to believe that we don't, but we do. We have a lot more free will than we realize. Back of the deck, the Two of Pentacles. Just balance things out. Make sure it's a combination of things that, you know, would make you externally happy and also internally happy. But maybe more so internally happy for the majority of you. Because, like I said, there's a fear of reflection, of self-reflection, or a fear of going deep down and understanding why you want the things that you want. Temperance, yeah. And there's some healing to be done here too. I didn't speak much about healing in this particular pile, but maybe some of you are resisting healing or resistant to the healing factors, because you know if you do, then you're gonna have to change a lot. And change is beautiful. Like, change is absolutely beautiful. It's difficult sometimes and it may feel a little chaotic, but if you're already attracting chaotic people, you might as well go with the chaos and have some chaotic change in your life for yourself, for the betterment of yourself, you know? I don't know who needed to hear that. It's like, you're all for having to deal with this toxic person, but you don't want to have to deal with your own beautiful growth. Like, and I'm saying that with so much love, but I feel like if I was honest, if I was your friend, I feel like I'm talking to a guy friend right now, because you know how guys are, they're just very honest. Like, they don't care about feelings. They're just to the point. That's how I'm feeling right now. We have Toad 39. Observe for those who watch, see all. Observe for those who watch, see all. There's something here about kissing a lot of frogs as well. It's funny because the Princess and the Frog came up in the first pile as well. I think I need to watch that movie. It's so good. There's something about you're not seeing something. For some of you, there could be friends or people in your life trying to tell you this very thing and you don't want to hear them. I'm not here to tell you what to do. But if this is coming from somebody who truly loves you or who truly has the best in their mind for you, I feel like it's time for you to take what they've had to tell you into consideration. I'm saying this as having been on both sides of that. I've both been the person who's had beautiful things to say to people that need to hear it out of love, and the person who refuses to listen to people who have nothing to beautiful things to tell me out of love, you know? Let's get another card. Ghost Whisperer 18. Be still in the whispers that ebb and flow through the silence. Some of you, this isn't going to be everybody. Some of you have clairaudience. Or you could have your ear chakras blocked because it's like you're listening, but you're not taking in the information. It's like there's a disconnect somewhere between here and getting to the third eye and the crown. And implementing that all through the rest of your energetic field, energetic system. So if you feel the need to do so, and it's interesting because I feel like the first or last time that this happened to me, I took literally a crystal, because you can work energy through crystals. I'm an energy worker, so I do this quite regularly, and I'm kind of surprised I haven't done it more in some of these readings. I take this and I bring energy. You don't have to have a crystal, you could just use your hands. Our hands are very powerful. Just bring light in and just kind of unwind anywhere where you feel that you don't want to listen to people, or that you've allowed like maybe some foggy energy to cloud your judgment or to cloud the way you behave. Especially those of you who are easily influenced by other people, like maybe other friends or certain podcast people, maybe even certain YouTube channels. Be careful with the subliminals you listen to. Be careful with the things you listen to, because they can influence how you think. Think of like somebody who likes to sit there in their dark little living room and watch politics all day. They're not going to have the healthiest mindset, even though it is good to keep up with politics from now and then. You know, if they're listening to nothing but fear-mongering on the TV, it's not going to be great for them in the long run. That's what I'm seeing for some of you. Back of the deck, we have Autumn Equinox. 3. Nothing is whole without the acceptance and acknowledgement of all. Some of you, what you are looking for is a sense of completion, because in this card, we have like the sun and the moon, and this is the equinoxes. This would be, I'm thinking of Libra because this is September 20 something. It's between Libra and Virgo. So for some of you, what you truly are seeking is like a feeling of completion, and that feeling of completion you will have to find within yourself before you're able to manifest it in another way. It's like you have to come to a relationship already feeling whole, knowing that all you do is bring more abundance to the other person. For example, and I know we like to think of it as like, oh, we're two parts of the same whole. I mean, yes and no. It's more like you're one circle and this is another circle, and you're a beautiful Venn diagram, and when you come together you become a different, beautiful color that is still both parts of yourself. And sometimes you come back, a little bit more, and you still have that color. It's like an ebb and flow of two beautiful transparent discs of their own color here. And that's how wholeness actually is. Like, you're already whole, but when you come together with somebody else and they amplify or bring out something better in you, this is where, like, this is how it's supposed to work. So I feel like for a lot of you, you were misreading the feeling of like of a counterpart or your better half, your other half, la media naranja, if you will, in Spanish. I know I grew up with that whole mindset of ¿Dónde está mi media naranja? Where's my other orange half? I don't know why we say that. That's just what we say. Let's go ahead and get your audacity cards. Because for a lot of you, this does have something to do with like a relationship. And for some of you, like I said, it could have like something to do with something something that you manifested that you thought would complete you. Same thing if you want to go somewhere. Being in a certain city won't complete you. You will still feel the same. Which, personally, I go back and forth on that, because there are certain cities I go to and I'm like, this place is amazing. Because where I live right now, I'm happy, but it's not me, I live out in the country, I guess. It's a little bit country, not too country. I'm not a country girl. I'm a city girl. But I know I would get tired of the city as well. So anyway, let's get your audacity cards. We have the slice. I'll move on to this in a minute. Number 22, for those of you who need that number, we have strength. You're overcoming, for a lot of you, you're overcoming certain self-indulgences. You're overcoming certain bad habits. I was getting that with the devil reversed here. You might have a bad habit of like, this isn't everybody, but some of you who are really good manifestors, you may manifest something and then take it for granted. Or you may manifest something and then decide, I don't want that anymore. Because I'm not here to judge and I'm not here to shame you into that. But it's kind of like, since you have such a great ability to manifest, it's time to manifest something good. Or it's time to manifest something for your betterment. Because some people, they're just perfect manifestors. I know people who, not even high vibrational people, they can just manifest like that. Get whatever it is that they want. You know, like ridiculous things that I've seen. But they always manifest things that aren't great for them. And I'm like, well, you have the possibility to do this. Why don't you manifest something good? And I do see, especially with strength here, and the sun reverse, they just feel that they're not worthy of manifesting good things for themselves, which is ridiculous. We also have the life of the party. Okay, my party people, be careful whose energies you're intermingling with. It's reversed because there's nothing wrong with partying. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. In fact, it is getting so dark as I say this. You are partying or hanging out around certain people who are quite literally trying to manipulate or shape the way you think and not for the better. This is not everybody. This is a select few, and this is why it came at the end. And these people, they kind of don't want you to better yourself, because if you better yourself, then they have to better themselves, or they have to find somebody else, and they won't like that. And unfortunately, these people are not your friends. These people are very selfish. Something similar came up in pile 1 if you were coming from that. But for some of you, you are hanging around the wrong people, or you're trying to hang around the wrong people. But I feel like for the majority of you, you already are, because, like I said, your chakra into the energy, like it's basically manipulation and mind control. But this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I wish you nothing but love, and I hope you manifest nothing but beautiful, wonderful things to you that light you up and make you the most vibrant, beautiful person ever. I mean, not saying that you already aren't, but you know, we can always be a little bit more. But I will see you in the next reading. If you want, you can contact me for a personal reading in the description below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. If we have the lepidolite palm stone, then we have a reading here for you. We're talking about fears. I think I said in the beginning video that I didn't really have a theme, but now I decided it's going to be fears. Let me see if the light will get any brighter, but for this particular pile, I think there's a reason it got darker than usual. We're dealing with certain, either something stressful or something anxious here, or something that makes you anxious, and you're trying to figure out why this is. So let's go ahead and get into the heart of the matter here. This is kind of like my Day of the Dead outfit, Halloween outfit, I guess. You know, use it multiple times. But there's something here. Okay, this energy. I just want to give you a hug. I just want to give you a hug. For different reasons than the other piles, that's for sure. I mean, everyone here deserves a hug, but for this one, we are dealing with Page of Coins, the Hanged Man. Some of you have recently decided to walk away from something that you originally had your heart set on. And this is not just because there's a reluctance here with the Hanged Man reverse. There is a reluctance here to walk away from this. But you knew that you had to. I feel like there was something similar in pile 1, but there's something different with your energy for some reason. We have the 9 of Swords. Whatever this is, it's keeping you up at night. Like I said, anxiety. If some of you do need professional help, by all means, I always recommend that you do get it, because the tarot readings and all the advice that you see online can only go so far. You need somebody to be able to tailor it to you. But that's only if you want to and if you can, of course. But let's go ahead and get more cards. We have, okay, the Moon. I think certain revelations in the not so distant past have made you question a lot about what you're putting your efforts into and what it is that you even want with the 4 of Cups here. Because I see you having to let go of, like, this is a blockage. I feel like that's what this is. I feel like for a lot of you, you're dealing with energetic blockages. And what I recommend is to start with meditation. Meditation is free and anyone can do it. If you can't afford therapy, meditation, I think that's thousands of studies saying that it's actually really good for you. Also, specific meditations, gratitude meditations. There's one called love kindness meditation, I think, where you send love and forgiveness to yourself and then you send it to everyone else, even those for whom it's so hard to love and forgive sometimes. But there is an energy here of you. Oh, okay, ringing in my... This comes from your paternal lineage. If it's maternal, it's going to be her paternal lineage. This comes from like the men in your family who kind of gave up on hope. There was like a hopelessness there. Okay, so with you, we're dealing with family trauma. If you want to check out my Day of the Dead messages from the ancestors readings, you can. Or if you would like a personalized one, I'm still doing them until November 6th. You can do that as well. But we're dealing with your masculine side getting in the way of you receiving like the belief in something, or getting in the way of you tapping into your heart and tapping into your soul. Oh, okay. And I feel like if you came from other piles, I can see like a common thread now, because we're dealing with fears. You're afraid of being vulnerable. You're afraid of being vulnerable. Even if you identify more feminine, even if you're a woman, it's that masculine side that is preventing you from being vulnerable. You saw your dad have to put up a front and you felt that you had to do that as well in order to be just like the strong part of your dad that you wanted to be like. If not your dad, then whatever masculine or male person that you saw had to do this. It could be an uncle or brother, but you had to see them do that. We have the 7 of Wands reversed. It's almost like you could even be the kind of person who, whenever you have a feeling, you might want to dismiss it, or you might not want to talk about it, or you might just hide it, because this is the lack of accountability. But the truth is, your feelings are important. It's important to acknowledge how you are feeling. You might have moon in the 12th house, which I do. Okay. 12th house gang. We end up becoming very spiritual because we realize that we're dealing with so many blockages and traumas in our life, huh? We have the 4 of Cups as well. No, 6 of Cups. Yeah, childhood, nostalgia. But I'm also seeing friends. You may attract people who are very similar to this. And because they've enabled this whole idea and notion that you don't have to talk about your feelings, or that it's okay to keep them bottled up, maybe even that it's okay to use certain forms of escapism to not have to deal with this, it's prevented you from growth. And I'm not saying these are bad friends. I'm not even saying that they're forcing you to do this. It's just, like I said, a common thing brings you together, and it's this very thing. I'm specifically seeing those of you who are online, or like you play video games and like your best friends are on those video games, you escape from the same troubles going to that same video game. There's nothing wrong with video games. I promise you there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to acknowledge when you are, as a group, enabling yourselves to keep holding on to bad habits that are preventing you from your growth. Because in that same circle, you could be the one who starts a revolution and you all decide to start bettering yourselves. So it's like, let's say you're the person in the friend group and like let's say there's a friend group and you guys decide to go out to drink every weekend or night or whatever the situation is. And one of you finally says, probably you, pile 3, because you're here, hey, how about we start going to, I don't know, yoga class, or let's start going to, you start to implement the idea to do something good, something better, because it's the power of the collective. You want to be in that power of the collective, and that's a beautiful thing to do, to want to inspire change within people. This is one way to overcome that, because a lot of you are lacking, either growing up or in your youth, was community. I see this a lot with people who are like only children. They get very defensive about their friend groups, and or they find it very easy to feel betrayal because they don't understand that, the dynamic between people that are always around you, like those siblings, will not, like, you won't always agree, you won't always get along. Like that's just human nature. So instead they seek out people who are exactly like them, who will enable the same things that they do. And I'm not talking trash about only kids either. Like, I love you guys. You're some of my favorites because you're so individualistic and you do whatever you want. But when it comes to the friend group, you could be the source of inspiration to better everyone. And I feel like you will finally know what it's like to have younger siblings, because every little thing you do, for better or worse, whether you try to or not, I'm saying this as the oldest sibling, it will influence your siblings. I influence my sisters all the time, not because I want to, but they look up to me. And honestly, it's very heartwarming. I'm glad that they look up to me. My other sister, who has a blog, she actually got into tarot and spirituality like way after me. And I'm proud of her because like now we have something in common. But she had to find her own journey to it. So you could be a great source of influence. And I'm sure my third sister, or will follow after that. We have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, a balance here. It's funny because the Two of Pentacles was coming through in all the piles so far. I feel like there's a big fear here of setting things in balance when you know they're imbalanced. Why that is, I'm not sure. We have, oh, the Knight of Swords. Like I said, you're here to bring change. The Knight of Swords comes in with new ideas, comes in with new communication. They're not afraid of speaking their mind, especially when it's something that is difficult, that is need to be said. So if you're the person in your group of people that needs to bring about the change, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it, because the people who truly love you, the people who truly admire you and know that you're on the right path, they will support you. And will some people fall off? Probably. But did you really want them there? Probably not. Back of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, but you're a little bit afraid of starting this revolution, of starting this. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. Sometimes people need that. You know, when the friend group gets boring, somebody needs to come through and be like, hey, how about we start doing this instead? You know? So I love this energy. And it's weird. If you haven't spoken to the people around you about how you're feeling, maybe try it. Even if it's with your guy friends, even if you're a straight dude with other straight dudes, don't be afraid of talking about your feelings. If they make fun of you for it, it's like, you know what? You need to grow up. That's what I'm seeing. I think it's different when it's like a girl with her guy friends, because I think we need to hear that reality check. But sometimes it's like when they come to us for that emotional support. That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about emotional support here. So let's go ahead and get more cards. We have the Reaper 32. For the birth of something new to manifest, the death of something holding you back is inevitable. Which is what I was just talking about. Yeah. You need to let go of something that is keeping you in this energy of like not growing, not expanding, and to birth in something new. The Reaper here though, kind of I think this is the spookiest card in all the Maven Oracle. This isn't even a Samhain one. What I'm seeing though is that this will happen inevitably. And look how much brighter the color here is. Like when we started this video, it was dark and now it's like brighter. And I have not done anything to the video quality. In fact, for these, I don't really edit them. But there is a feeling here that this will come regardless of whether you started or not. So it's up to you. Do you want to be the first one to go ahead and do this? Or do you want it to kind of just happen to everybody? And maybe for some of you, there's even this fear of being left behind. So you will go ahead and do it yourself. And what this is will depend, but there is like a bad habit here that is needing to be broken. Or this habit of like keeping things bottled up before they become a problem. We have Fawn 15. Be curious, dear child, and explore the world within words. Sorry, the world within worlds. Yeah, for a lot of you, you have a sense of curiosity. It's like some of you could be trying to stray from the friend group or stray from a certain dynamic that you've been used to. Like if you had certain expectations of yourself, you kind of want to try something new. Don't be afraid of that. Be you. Be you. Because your individuality brings something to the collective. You being yourself brings something good to this group of people that they need to see or that they need to experience. Back of the deck, straw bale. It's time to step out of your comfort zone, which I've been talking about. Take up space and reach new heights. Take up space. Take up space. I feel like a lot of you are actually good at taking up space, not gonna lie, because I keep seeing a group of people where you all put like your input here, but you don't mind, like you could just be really opinionated, or you're like, I don't care, I'm gonna say what I need to say. You have no problem with that. What you're afraid of is the change within your friend group that this could make, or even the fact that you might lose some friends or lose this friend group. But the thing is that you'll find a new one. You'll find people who resonate with you more. You will find people who are like more matched to your level. I'm seeing specifically like college age people for some reason here, even though we have 32 and 37, or maybe people that you've known since that time. Like it's time to change. Honestly, I'm at that age where if I don't talk to my friends for years, it's okay, because we know that we're busy with life and they've got kids and I've got my life going on. We've got careers. But I think it's more difficult in your 20s when you start saying things like, you never make time for me, we never see each other. And unfortunately, that's life, especially somewhere like the US where it's very common for people to live 20 minutes away to an hour. All my friends live an hour away. In other countries, that would be like the whole other side of the country. So take that as it resonates. Luckily, the internet makes it easier. We have the last straw. I see a pivotal moment happening for somebody here. Also, shout out to the friend group that you go get Starbucks with. But I see a final straw here. Like a pivotal moment between you and a friend group. or you and a group of friends, or maybe like one particular group of friends. This could be, I'm seeing the scenario play out. Like you're talking and you're talking one night and you're trying to be taken seriously, or you're trying to say something, or maybe somebody else is. If it's not you, it's going to be somebody else. And they get so mad. For some of you, there could be a physical altercation or something, unfortunately. But I see somebody getting so mad that they just get up and walk out and they're like, okay, I'm done with this. Okay, I'm done with this. Or, you know, some words are exchanged. I'm seeing, and hopefully this isn't the case. I really do wish nothing but good stuff for you guys. But I'm seeing somebody being so fed up with something that they finally walk away. And if this is you, just do you. But if you're watching somebody go through this, reach out to that friend, please. There have been times where I wish I had done that. You know, when I knew a friend was out of sorts, and I wish I had, because I think that was the last time I saw them. Let's do more. We have the Zoom meeting. Interesting, because I was just talking about people who play online. But notice how she's got like all these swords in her little skeleton body, and like the place is on fire, and it's like there's so much going on. If you are too busy for your friend group, or whatever it is that your friend group, like the people around you, it could be family as well, I keep saying friend group, whatever your collective is, if you're too busy to do the things that they want to do and you need to focus on yourself, by all means say it. Like the friends that are truly your friends will still be there for you after the fact. If somebody here keeps getting mad at you because you can't show up to every function, I think you need to sit down with them and let them know that, hey, we are still friends and I still love you, but I can't be at everything, you know? You've got stuff to work on. I see this a lot, like I said, when people start having kids, or when they get married, or when they move, or when they have a full-time career. We've got the Lovers. I'm seeing counterpart energy. For those of you for whom your friends really were like, you know, your ride or die, this makes sense. But for some of you, this is a bit of a codependency situation, which I hate to say it, but it could be you, it could be them, but there's something here about boundaries as well with the Lovers card here. I mean, it is possible that this could also be like a romantic situation between you and somebody who is like also part of your friend group, and maybe you're talking about this. For some of you, you could have a crush on this person. I mean, no shame there. There's also, you could also be dealing with like, I see this a lot, and guys hate this, whenever one of their buddies like goes off and gets a girl and suddenly he's never around, and then he breaks up with her and he comes back around. I'm seeing that. Maybe you're a girl who does this too. I mean, guilty, I've done that. You know, I find a guy and suddenly I don't see any of my friends for a long time. Which is just, I mean, that's a part of life. I mean, that would be a life companion, so you can't be mad at them for wanting to invest time into somebody who's going to be there probably longer than their friends are. And for some of you, you could just find a situation so draining, but I do see you wanting to keep friends, and you're afraid that you're going to lose your friends, essentially, or you're afraid of ultimately loneliness. But you're never alone. You always have people around you. And I wouldn't... I'm being told to get another card from this one. Because I'll be honest, I never suffered from that. I'm very much a loner. But whoever I'm reading this for, you need a sense of community at all times. Strength. You will overcome this. You will learn how to be comfortable within your own skin. You will learn to be comfortable in your independence and in your solitude. Because I don't like saying the whole we're born alone, we die alone thing, because we're not born alone. You know, our mother is right there. It's like, who do we come out of? Our mother. The doctor's there, probably. Somebody there to... But you will always have support, even if it's more on the other side, even if it's more spiritual, even if it's just me here talking to you through YouTube. But this is where I leave it. Pile 3, thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, subscribe, or even reach out to me for a personalized reading. I'm still doing Day of the Dead readings until November 6th, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.